when I talk to other contestants, I'm going to have to see if they're part of the Humblebird gang. So,
Yes, ask him. I know if you talk to Allie, and Riley Tate, the 15-year-old, I really feel like those were the two people I remember like raving about it.
started with Team Blake. He made it through the blinds going with Team Blake. He had a choice between Chance and Blake, chose Blake. Then at the battles, was tried to get stolen by both Chance again and then Niall, and went with Niall. So that's a quick little backstory. Of course, a lot more happened. Definitely go back and watch those performances. But first, I got to know, since I just said Chance kind of tried to fight for you twice now, what was that motivation and why did you end up choosing Niall at the battles?
Yeah, in that moment, Niall was actually always my first pick from the very beginning, and Blake was actually my last pick. But what Blake had said in the blinds totally got me on board, and I'm like, yes, authenticity. I want to be on his team. Niall, I just was kind of thinking in the long run of things of like just my album release that's coming out is kind of more up his alley genre wise and style wise, and I was such a big fan of his style of music. And I really felt like, having the opportunity to be on his team is like a once in a lifetime thing
Mhm.
where he might only do one season. I don't know how often he's going to be going back on The Voice, but I was just kind of like, man, I have to go with Niall. Even though Chance, he turned for me first. A lot of people are giving me crap because he really, really wanted me in. The thing is like now watching it, I didn't realize how much of a fan Chance was because the behind the scenes filming, I didn't see that. I didn't hear him, yell out EJ when like I'm going on stage because I'm so in the moment. So hindsight is bliss. There is a bit of that, like, oh man, what would it have been like if I had been on Team Chance? But I really am happy I went with my gut. And Niall is such. I get why the world loves him, and I get why the ladies love him. He's a sweet guy. He does indeed smell really good. Um, and I don't know. He's another reason too is like he's emailed all of his contestants. Like he's been
Yeah.
talking with them all, and I think that really appealed to me as well. Kind of hearing the other contestants' experience with him as a coach. He's very personable, and yeah, I mean it's Niall Horan. That's definitely someone I'd love to collaborate with in
Yeah.
the
And
future
I
if I
saw
ever.
your video where he followed you on Instagram. And yeah. So
I
did
was
Blake follow
guessing
you?
around. What?
Did Blake follow you?
No,
See,
Blake.
there we go.
I feel like I'm just another number. He's been doing it, 23 seasons. So I'm just kind of like, the dude is tired. I love Blake. He's so hilarious, but I'm sure he's done. Like after doing 23 seasons and going through so many people. Where Niall, this is like his first time, so I get
Right,
I
right.
would be a bit more like,
New ideas, fresh ideas. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
that kind of leads right into my next question. Can you kind of give me behind the scenes on what it was like working with Niall versus Blake, or maybe your favorite moment from both?
I feel like with Blake, he really didn't have much to say besides he called my voice shocking a lot.
Mhm.
I'll take that as a positive. And, I feel like Blake just kind of just let us do our thing. Where with Niall, because he's a little bit more my demographic, I feel like he had a lot more opinions on like this next round we're going into, on the song, on I don't know. It was just a different vibe, and I
Yeah.
think he's probably like a year or two younger than me.
Mhm.
Um, so just there's more of that similarity in age and demographic and
I get
whatnot.
that.
But,
Totally.
but I feel like they both. I mean, I being able to be on both their teams, they both have said so many amazing things. That I also, when Niall was like, EJ's like a ready made star, he can sing anything type of a thing, I'll always hold on to those comments for the rest of my
Yeah.
life. Like, whenever I'm doubting myself, or I'm like, my music career is so difficult, or like, the grind, and I can remind myself, Michael, Niall Horan did say this, and
Yes.
Blake did say this, so it'll kind of honestly be some good validation I can keep for life that will keep me motivated in my career going forward.
Absolutely. And I've been doing interviews for The Voice for years now, and I've always thought it's so cool when artists do get to work with different coaches during their short time there. And I know that it usually means it's more stress because they're getting stolen or they might get eliminated or whatever. But I think that's how I would want to come out of that experience, is working with as many people as possible. So
Yeah,
I think it's
literally
neat.
though. Yeah,
Yeah.
like have more coaches get to know you on a personal level, and I guess have more connections and more experience out of because it's like you don't really get a say in much of what happens and goes
Right.
on. I mean, getting casted onto the show, and like out of I think 40,000 people auditioning, and then only so many get out there, and then from there it's like they narrow it down. So any moment I'm like grateful for whatever happens. I'm like, I've been making it so far in the competition. I didn't even think I'd make it to battles, honestly.
Yeah. Well, going back to your blinds, did you have a goal, and has that goal changed since you've continued through the show?
I feel like my goal in going in the battle really was just to sing the dang song and not
Yeah.
mess up.
Yeah.
Like, and humiliate. I know this doesn't sound like a very big, lofty goal, but my thing was like, I just wanted to put on the best performance I could.
Mhm.
But I was so nervous. And I really feel like I it's kind of weird because from my level, I didn't sing as great as I wanted to. However, it kind of worked to my favor in a sense of the breaking up, my voice being more emotional, and
Mhm.
like connecting with that. Even though I'm kind of like, oh, like I wish I could go back and re-sing it. There is a part of it that I'm like, it's the emotion, it's the humanity, and that imperfection that really resonated with people. Um, but the battle round, I went into it with a completely different mindset. I'm just
Mhm.
like, I'm gonna have fun. I'm not gonna be anxious. Like I remember, I think I was first to go, like number one to go, and we're like, okay, let's do this thing. And just thinking to myself, like, I'm just gonna have fun. And I felt so comfortable on stage. Like I didn't think of it as like I get one chance or this is national TV. I just thought like I'm gonna walk on stage and have fun and be myself. And I really feel like that did a lot. I guess that worked for me a lot
Yeah.
better than being so anxious and being like, oh, I can't miss a note. What if I
Right.
forget a lyric? I remember the night before the blinds, I kept thinking of the lyrics over and over and over in my head, just like replaying them and being like, will I forget it? And then of course I almost tripped up on a lyric. But I think whatever you think about, kind of comes to pass.
Yeah, yeah.
So I
Absolutely.
yeah, so that's kind of what I've been trying to take more forward as a goal, just having fun, being myself, not taking it too seriously, even though the pressure is still there and the nerves are still on, that it just makes it more enjoyable.
Yeah. That's kind of all you can do because the show's so unpredictable. So, but I think that's a smart and a safe attitude to have.
Yeah.
So knockouts have also already been shot. You already got to work with the mega mentor Reba McEntire. Please tell me surprises that came about from that. Tell me about that experience.
Yeah, I all I will say, so I don't know how much I'm allowed to say,
Right, of
even though we
course,
know
of
who it
course.
is, but it was like meeting it was like meeting the sweetest mom I've never had. Even though I love my mom. My mom is sweet, literally, and I was nervous. I'm like, what if I don't know who this person is? Like I was so nervous going into that. But obviously Reba, I mean, my introduction to Reba was in The Little Rascals when she
Yeah.
played the Pinewood Derby person. Like, so I was introduced to her as an actress first and foremost before as a musician. Um, but it was just like I felt so comfortable in her presence. Like
Mhm.
usually celebrities make you feel sometimes a little intimidated and like, "Ugh, I don't know how I feel around this person. Like you're so nervous. It was the exact opposite with her. She was like, it
Yeah.
was like coming home in a sense. And it was just the sweetest feeling, and I just felt so comfortable, and it made the rehearsal go a lot easier for me, and to open up and ask questions and sing well and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, how many people get to say they've met Reba McEntire in
Right.
person?
I haven't
And
yet. And we're both redheads from Oklahoma, so it's got to happen someday. But yeah.
Go Gingers! My boyfriend, well, he's not a ginger. He has a ginger beard.
I
But
noticed that. Yeah. Yeah.
a lot of people are like, he's a ginger. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm not.
I think it's more common than people think. I know a lot of people with dark maybe hair and then red beards. Yeah. So,
Yeah, like for
yeah.
him, it's kind of more sandy blonde hair, but
Uh-huh.
then just a red beard all the way down. So
That's funny. Well, kind of more of a personal question. You can stop me at any point, but I know a lot of people have really appreciated you being very candid and honest about coming out. You just mentioned your mom, and I know you were in a band with your brother. So I kind of wanted to know, like, how has your family been with it? Have they been accepting, and how has that been? Because I don't think you've mentioned it on the show, and I was just really curious about that.
yeah, yeah, I haven't really got into detail more than just like on the show, like, hey, I've come out and I'm happy to be here type
Yeah.
of thing. But I came out almost 5 years ago in 2018, actually after getting divorced and being in marriage with a woman. And after that happened, I feel like my family, it was like a half and half split.
Hmm.
My All of them obviously loved me and want the best for me, but I think I remember my sister being kind of mad, like, why did you marry her if you were gay? And I'm just like, baby, I had literally zero options being in this religion. It's either be lonely or marry a woman. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be alone. So I really, at the time, I felt like I had one option where, my little brother's like, I feel like I see you now. He's like, I feel like there's always been this weird wall. Now it's like the wall has come down, and now I can like see you for who you are. My mom had already known by that point, but then my dad found out because I was really scared about my dad. Um, he in the beginning, I think his thing was just like my safety and overall
Yeah.
mental health, overall just well being. I didn't never had drank before,
Oh,
and
true. Yeah.
I still don't love it, but I only have one drink I actually like now, which is an amaretto sour.
Okay. Good.
It's my favorite drink ever. It's
There
an
are
old
worse
man.
ones. There are worse ones.
Yeah, maybe I like it because it's so sweet and
Oh yeah.
almondy. It tastes the alcohol, but
So in the end, it sounds like at least they are supporting you on the show and they're there for you for that, right?
yes. Oh,
Good.
100%.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. No, I feel very lucky because I've heard
Yay.
so many horror stories of people
Yeah.
and their families.
And I'm gonna
Yeah.
wrap it up with just kind of a fun one, just to lighten it up and end on a fun note. While you were in LA, what were some of your favorite parts of the city? Was it your first time here? Tell me about
Um, I'm like, do I talk about my favorite parts of the city or I talk about my favorite food? Because
that.
there's some really good food out there. I would honestly say, like, I love the Laguna Beach area.
Mm,
Actually, a few weeks ago, my boyfriend and I stayed there for a weekend and went to Universal Studios and went to the Mario Land thing. And I don't know, I really feel like anywhere on the coast, just take me there. Like, I
yeah,
love driving on the coast, like seeing the ocean, having the windows down, turning the music up, and feeling free. I don't have that here in Utah at all.
right.
So I definitely would say geologically, that is like the best thing. I think you guys have going out there that is just so amazing. I would not ever take for granted. So yeah, yeah,
Well,
Laguna
you
Beach.
gotta tell me your favorite food spots. Now I gotta know.
There's this place called Humble Bird. It's like, I think, one location in LA, maybe Burbank area.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, this place will wreck you. Has the best chicken sandwich, like southern styled, almost gourmet chicken sandwich with fries and mac and cheese.
Okay.
I remember getting that so many nights. Oh my gosh, just and it became a thing amongst the contestants. Everyone's like, "You got to get humble bird tonight." We'd all take pictures of our sandwiches and send it to each other. And yeah,
That's
oh
awesome.
yeah.
Well, one, I'm gonna have to check it out, and two, when I talk to other contestants, I'm gonna have to see if they're part of the Humblebird gang. So,
Yes, ask them. I know if you talk to Allie, and Riley Tate, the 15-year-old. I really feel like those were the two people I remember like raving about it. Oh,
yeah,
and Mary Kay, who's on Team Blake, who also got a playoff pass. Amazing.
yeah. Awesome. Well, EJ, this was a really fun interview, mainly because we kind of covered everything, which is really nice and well-rounded. So I really appreciate that. Congratulations
Yeah,
on making it this far. I hope to
thank
see you go
you.
further, because then I get to talk to you again. And
Yay.
just good luck with everything. And thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
If you real quick want to give us your Instagram so anyone watching, make sure we can follow you.
Yes, please follow me on EJ Michels Music. That's at EJ Michels Music on Instagram. And then from there, you can even find my website, ejmichelsmusic.com, which has everything. So,
Awesome. Well, thank you
yeah.
again, EJ. Everyone, this is Hollywood Junket. My name is Craig Ries. Thank you so much for joining us. We have lots of interviews from not only this season, but past seasons. So definitely like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.